Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace. You gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience and the pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. After interesting technical difficulty getting today's show started, we're live back for part 2 of the Jason Blendowski files. How's everybody doing? I was on vacation for a hot minute. I appreciate everybody's love and support and asking questions and communication over the past couple of weeks. I have with me in the studio. I can't talk today, Jay. I have with me in the studio Jason Blendowski, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a little. Jay, how are you, bud?
I'm doing well.
You look well. You look well.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people ask me about the Jason Blendowski files from our first, I called it episode 0.03 because it wasn't any good at all. it was pretty awful.
Well, only because the video failed, half the audio wasn't great, everything was out of cue. Yeah.
It was pretty god awful.
But you go through growing pains.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the voices in your head telling you today, buddy?
I wish I had opted in for the fan offer earlier.
Ooh,
because
yeah.
it's a smooth 95 degrees here.
We ride at about 89 in the studio.
Yeah, for
no other reason than I don't have air in this part of the garage. I'm working on it though. That's going to be expensive at one point.
This concrete slab atop which we sit with absolutely no daylight is far too unnaturally warm. Significantly warmer than it should be. Yeah. This is miserable, but appreciate you inviting me.
Of course,
this is good.
It wouldn't be a show without you, man. A lot of this shit, the mic, the audio equipment, a lot of the know-how, a lot of stuff's happened because of you, bud.
Yeah, well, I have an open credit limit for you.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that a challenge? Because
no, it is no. It is not. You have reached it, but it's always open as long as you're not maxed out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not a math guy.
Yeah, I'm not that's kind of sad.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you said you had some questions and stuff and some points to talk about today?
So you had put on your Facebook the
walk-in,
Christopher Walken.
The walk-in.
And I know that there's probably 16 people who work where we work who are absolutely sick of it, but for the literal tens of people who may see this, I thought it might be interesting for you to kind of give the backstory on why Christopher Walken is.
Well, because you have a theory, he's got to be talking about a number of things, yes, and it's got to be something obscene. So, two mice fucking in a wool sock underneath the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So
but it works for everything.
It does.
Though. So it's kind of like when you used to do Mad Libs on a car trip. Except there's a lot more sexuality.
And you have to do it in Christopher Walken's voice.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yep.
People always emphasize the part of it. They got to get the rasp because you get serious.
You do it really well. I'm quite jealous.
I know people who do it better, but I try to.
You got to do me a favor, and whoever you have on that can do a solid Christopher Walken, you got to do a walk-off.
Chris Smith. Oh, he whooped my ass in a walk-off because I can do the exaggerated parts of his impression. Chris can if you talk to him long enough on the phone as Christopher Walken, you start to think you're in one of his movies. Like, shit, is Christopher Walken on the phone in a fucking movie right now?
Chris was he was on not long ago.
Episode 3, I think.
Yeah, he has a very domineering voice.
He does.
Yeah, it's quite intimidating.
He's not a super big impressions guy, but the ones he can do, he's phenomenal.
Like nailed it. Yeah. Well, maybe he's got like a bank of 30 other ones he's just not going public with. It's not his opener.
You get him high and drunk enough, maybe he'll start doing impressions of shit you've never heard of.
Yeah. Well, half the fun of Walken is like the most out there.
The Walken fun.
Yeah, it's not all fun is involving Walken, but all Walken should be fun. Is like how absolutely obscure whatever you're saying about him is, because and so the Mad Lib's like, okay, just give me a number, right? Like a number of the most amount of dogs you can think of that you can live with without going absolutely crazy. So like
16 bloodhounds.
Yes, yeah. And then it's
a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, then it's a noun, right? So it could be leprechauns. 13 leprechauns ass fucked in a pot of soup. But and then there's
I feel like Christopher Walken's got so much better things to talk about.
We'll never know,
because no,
if it isn't,
I'm not gonna meet him probably.
I wouldn't set my hopes that
I don't
high.
think he wants to meet me or anyone like me right now. I think he knows everybody he needs to know.
That's probably I would
nothing
say
against me or him, but like I don't think he gives a fuck.
If I met him, I'd be like, I'm not worth his time.
He'd be like, thanks, and just walk away.
Yeah. What are you doing in this kind of theater in the middle of a Thursday afternoon, Mr. Walken?
Please get a life. Yeah, man.
There's we had a busy week you weren't around for.
Yeah, tell me about it. Did I miss any fucking drama?
Nothing that I would get into.
Fair enough.
You were off. One of the other managers was off at the same time. Yeah. I went to this place actually. I forgot I was wearing this. This place I went here on Sunday.
The fucking drugs, man.
Yeah.
Ugh, I love drugs.
I love drugs.
Fuck.
Yeah. Well, used to.
Yeah, but they'll ruin your life. But I love them so fucking much. Continue.
I wouldn't have 2 beautiful kids if it wasn't for a long line of fuck ups.
Yeah.
Not the least of which being drugs. But in any event, so Funny Farm. It's in Mays Landing, and they had some kind of an event. My son's deaf, so my wife's stepping out of her comfort zone and social anxieties, and not that she suffers from it necessarily, but getting out with 2 kids is always a lot of work, and apparently I'm the weakest link in the household for kind of getting things accomplished. But we found our way there. It was a longer drive. I'd never been there. Mays Landing in New Jersey. But it was awesome that like 3/4 of the animals that are there are all just wandering around. So
there's no pens or anything.
They have areas. So like I don't know why I hate llamas, but
why?
They're just terrible people. But alpacas I really like, and you would think there's probably no 2 creatures that are closer together than them, but I love alpacas. Anyways, they had several. One of the only things that was behind a pen, and there was these 2 ponies that were just stealing all the food. But they had fucking donkeys and emus. There was a sheep. A sheep. What's the singular of sheep?
A sheep.
A sheep.
A sheep?
It doesn't. Sheep. This can't be entertainment.
It is for me.
Okay.
And the one person watching, I'm sure.
Sheep.
A sheep. Speaking of the one person watching, if anybody wants to ask Jason questions or leave a comment or anything, if you want your name displayed so I can reference it during the stream, all you have to do is follow the prompt at the top of the description. Just open up the read more thing and do that it takes 2 seconds, and then you can be a part of the stream. Anyway, Funny Farm. We just went to a petting zoo, Brittany and I and the kids.
Which one?
Lots of Love petting zoo or farm or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't remember. Williamstown. See, I remember things, babe. The fuck?
That one thing?
That one thing.
Yeah.
I forgot like 3 things today. Where are my kids? All right. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I passed by a school to get here. So
yes,
that's
several,
a violation of
several.
my probation.
It's not. I'm not on any registers or
No.
any lists, or there's no red dots on the computer referencing me and my location.
No.
No, that's not part of the crimes that I committed. Speaking of which, I did have several people on occasion ask me if we could get into some war stories, because this is the Jason Blendowski Files Part 2. I definitely want to hear some knockout fucking listen to how fucked up I was stories. And so do others, believe it or not.
All right.
They're acquiring a fan base.
There's
An
a
infinite
lot. I got a lot.
Mm.
I don't know that there's any in particular that I would broadcast out.
Well, those are the ones we all want to hear. Nothing that's going to violate statute of limitations.
How long is that?
I don't know.
You don't have to worry about that, but I do, because I'm scrolling up on 6 years, but I feel like a lot are 7.
I think it's 5 or 7. And I know murder has no statute of limitations. So if there's any of that,
I haven't done any.
First of all,
that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was a lot of.
When was the first time you ever tried cocaine?
Cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so oddly enough. So just so you're aware, my father has watched this.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so
Mr. B.
I'm gonna
we're both the bad influence, bud.
Yeah. So here's the story. I was friends with like a way unnaturally older couple than a 19 or 20-year-old should really be hanging with.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents knew it. And so we would hang out quite a bit. One of their friends, and they were, let's just say, like 30 and 37 at the time that I was like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
And
oddly older than you for that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So the way that I met them was a buddy of mine from high school who is still in high school. So I had graduated, a couple of years.
Currently, or at the time?
He at the time was in high school. I had graduated for some years. And he was like, "Oh, if I know how much you really love to do drugs, what would be really cool is if I hooked you up with my girlfriend's parents." And they were just young parents comparatively.
The cool parents.
They were heroin addicts.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
But neither
different.
So they had a
different leniency.
They had a friend who stripped at this club, in like Sayreville or something, and she had a real tight relationship with cocaine, and
who doesn't?
I think that was probably the first time that I had done it, and it was through IV, so it was an extremely different out there. The first time I met this girl, and it was not the last time that I found my way down that path, but that was the first time that I had done it. Like, there was a glass table. The house was decorated like it was still like 1988. And the last thing you would think, like, I would have thought that we were going to do cocaine, like lines, there's a mirror, a glass table, Aerosmith's hanging out in the other room, Yeah.
It's cooler than my story.
What was yours?
Just a party. Like, it was
just at a party.
Because I feel like I only asked that because I feel like it's either pills or coke is the next step, like in the escalation of that adventure. Like, it's either you go to look more pills, which kind of was my story. I went from like drinking and weed and then I went to the pharmaceuticals, but coke it wasn't like planned, like, hey, we're gonna go do cocaine. And we went to a party and it was just there, and I wound up almost completing a full backflip. Like, my first time doing cocaine was my only and ever time convincing people that I could maybe do a backflip. Like, I did the backflip part. I tucked because I had friends that knew how to do flips. So I'm all coked out. So I'm like, I remember the theory of this. And then and like, my buddy said my knees barely bent until like I was in the air. He's like, you fucking levitated, like, and then your knees bent, and then it's like you landed on all fours.
You just fell backwards.
No,
it was awkward.
It was like a violent spin in the midair, and then it was off to the races. But I was never an IV guy, man. I was always nasally fixated, and
it started that way.
And that's allergies. Right now, you're hearing that's not current usage or destruction of my nasal passage. That's fucking allergies.
Well, what was your favorite? Like, not to say the thing you may have necessarily done the most or for the longest period of time, but the thing that really was most impactful for you?
Impactful?
Like as an addict, you know what I mean? Like there was, I would say I've done my fair share of different stuff.
Oh yeah.
But there are ones that stood out, even if they weren't the things I did for the longest period of time, like arguably weed. So, right, weed would have started most people's. You go out, you smoke some joints, whatever. Maybe even alcohol.
I mean, if you'd go like what was most impactful in the beginning, weed's the old friend. You know what I mean? If you go to like what was the craziest thing I did in the midst of it all, like that's
like your favorite.
Shrooms was my favorite. Dude.
Oh, so
Just
all right. So
mushrooms.
If we're watching the replay on life, you're in your head, you're like, okay, I'll just skip all this other shit because that was the thing that I truly connected with.
I'll give you a perfect example of a conversation Brittany and I were having like last week. She's been trying to get me to do these mani-pedis and these spa days and all this shit. And she just goes, you should just do a spa day with me. And I'm like, honey, my idea of spa and therapy is me and 4 people that I enjoy their company and I trust them. Just take a shitload of mushrooms and just fucking run around in the woods for 8 hours straight. That's my idea of therapy. Because when I tell you, like I was a different person before and after my first real shroom trip, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it changes your whole outlook on life. And it just expands your entire thought pattern. And and then of course shrooms made me want to do acid because everyone's like, oh, acid's crazier and it's way more intense. I've done peyote, I've done DMT, I've done a fuck ton of hallucinogens, man.
I like hallucinogens.
I do too. It's almost like reality's kind of a bitch.
I think it kind of clears out some neural pathways that allow that once you can drop your ego, like the sense of self just falls through the floor. It's like you can objectively see all of what you're doing, the people you know, you love, your day to day. I wasn't a big mushrooms fan, but I did acid a fair share of times. You know, and at the beginning it was like, oh, let's just see what this is like. And actually, as I matured, I had taken a responsible amount for like not like I'm not dropping like 4 tabs of acid and then, you know, driving off to go see a movie. I'm taking acid in the confines of a room or a safe space with people. So, you know, it was fun because I could say, this is the objective of this trip. And then I could clear that away. Like when I got clean for the final time, it was only after I decided to pull away all the other stupid excuses and bullshit and stuff and just be like, you know, everything's leading to this is what the goal is. So the only thing holding me back is me. So fuck that guy. And I shed it clean. And then I got clean and I was like,
I think
this is all right.
Shrooms. Well, first of all, like when I first smoked weed, I was like maybe 11 or 12 years old. Like I hung out with a lot of older people and a lot of older friends. Like most of my friends when I was like 12 and 13 were like 15, 16, 17. Because I hung out with a lot of my brother's friends and whatnot. But like I remember when I smoked weed for the first time, it was like one of the first times where I was like, oh shit, it's possible to move about life without fear at certain points. And then shrooms like amplified that. It was just one of those things that took me outside of the realm of what I was already feeling and made me have a different understanding of it.
Right.
And it takes a lot of the fear and anxiety away, and it just led on from there. You know what I mean? But of course, it didn't always stay into the harmless partying and enlightening. But I'm a firm believer that that's way too fucking young. It's way too fucking young.
What was the age?
Like 12. Was when I first like smoked weed and drank and shit. It's like where it started. It was like 12, 13, 11, 12, 13-ish. I used to do a lot of drugs, so I can't really remember. But the one thing I can say is like it was fucking great for a long time until you just get to a point and like I think there's something in your genetics that just goes, you got to get higher, dude. You got to just find out what it's like, and you always want to come out and feel like there's a different feeling. You know what I mean?
I there was one of the last good, like, you know, rehab centers that I was at, gave me the opportunity for just time in a nice place to kind of be in nature a little bit, like a white guy rehab all the way out in California. for a minute. I was out there,
You
and
went far for rehab, dude.
what's that?
You went far for rehab, dude. I went to
Insurance was ready to cover it, and I've never paid a medical bill after.
I had broke white people insurance. They cut me after 6 fucking days. They're like, "Welcome to Seabrook. We're gonna have acupuncture and equine therapy." And then they're like,
"But
yeah,
not for you."
Day 6, they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna need you to go. You broke ass." And they're like, "We have this great place out in Bucks County. It's 14 people in a.
You smell like poverty. Here's an outhouse for you to get clean in."
Yeah. Not all Jews are rolling in.
No. Well, I wasn't either. This was like one of the first couple sales jobs that I had. I was working at a car dealership, and I was really tied up in some bad stuff again, and I needed to go. One day I was like, okay, I can't do drugs anymore. Like, I'm really good at it. Like, you guys don't understand, like, really, really good at it.
Your spiritual awakening? Was that a car dealership?
It wasn't a spiritual awakening so much as like the moments where I'm like, oh, this isn't great. I had to force these epiphanies with like acid. So it sounds really fucked up, but the good decisions I made in my life were because I was able to take that separation. You know, that and Paxil. Those are two pretty good ones.
What is Paxil?
Paxil's just like an antidepressant, but it also works as an anti-anxiety. And believe it or not, it helped. I know that this isn't the really fun, cool part of the conversation about drugs. I'm not really, whatever.
This is where you're at now.
Yeah. So like,
this is what you acknowledge now.
Right.
That's what I want. I don't.
So right now, if I could go back and do I'll eliminate the antidepressants. Because to be honest with you, it's not like
depression's a part of life. Go on.
Yeah. It's. Well, actually, I used it for anxiety because it gave me a pause before I got anxious, overwhelmed, angry. Like, I found in my mid-30s that anger was one of the biggest, things that kept me back from growing. Was just, I didn't think of myself as an angry guy because I'm always just fucking shooting the shit and
I'm angry as fuck.
Whatever. Yeah, you are. I agree. You're like a fucking angry golem with his nuts caught in a tweezer.
And I tried to explain this to Brittany too, and I still don't even fully understand why I'm so fucking angry all the time. It's when multiple things go wrong at once.
Oh yeah.
It's when and one of my
drop your keys, you fucking scratch the door,
and a lot
you're
of,
at the grocery store.
Noise does it too.
Yeah.
The kids will set.
It's autism.
Maybe.
Yeah,
you might be autistic.
It's not like either are or aren't. There's
isn't everybody like? Isn't that what they say? Like everybody's fucking.
I
autistic
fucking
now?
think plenty of people are, and to be honest with you,
surprise me if somebody told me, hey, you're kind of autistic. I'd be like, yeah,
all right, that checks. That's the least surprising thing I found out about me.
Conversation with me and like
ever. If I can't get the Milky Way open on the first rip, I'm fucking somebody's face.
Our age group was the first generation that they discovered ADHD.
Oh yeah, before that it was like, you're probably gonna be fine.
We'll hold that one back for a while.
Yeah.
And then Bush is like, no child left behind. Get him out there. Go.
It's because I was in Korea and you're a piece of shit. Now you got to deal with it. I don't know. So yeah. Drugs were good.
Oh,
drugs.
Yep. Drugs, ladies and gentlemen, they're fucking fantastic, but they'll ruin your life.
Yeah. If I could, the most impactful thing I think was acid for me because it made good decisions. The one I loved the most, obviously, was heroin. It can't be heroin. Nobody who's ever taken like a little bit. I don't know anybody who was like, I'm a weekend warrior.
Try a little heroin.
Yeah, I just do it on the weekends.
Just a nip.
Yeah. No.
Like those old timey people that pull out the flask and the suit jacket. You want a nip?
Yeah. Or you do the little, snuff. I think that's what that was. They used to snort like some kind of a leaf.
Grounds. Yeah, I don't.
Whatever. I don't know.
They came up with a lot of drugs when I got clean. Like they did. There was that whole thing on Crocodile where people were like, it was like synthetic heroin, and they would shoot up on it, and it's like it was like a necrotizing fasciitis like disease, like it was eating their arms away, and they were like exposed muscle, and then you had the fucking bath salts.
Oh, bath salts
got crazy. Yeah. When I got clean, not
salvia.
That I would have done them, but salvia. I've done salvia. Salvia was
so
around.
have I. That was
salvia
fucking horrible.
I lived.
You go to the gas station and some guy's like, Hey, what do you think, bud? You want to come grab one of these bags? I notice you're a complete dropout. Why don't you have some? Oh, okay. You seem pretty trustworthy. And it comes in a silver bag, so I know it's medical.
And you got it at the gas station.
Thanks, Sunoco. Bing!
It was BP.
Yeah.
When I got kicked out, I lived like a block and a half away from a 7-Eleven, and my one buddy would just come pick me up. We'd go and we would stop at the 7-Eleven, and then one of these days, not the 7-Eleven, it was a BP. It was right around the street from a BP, and they had those, like the horny goat weed aisle.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking where all those dick pills and and then the fake ginkgo biloba energy pills and whatnot. And then one time they had the salvia before it got like crazy.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, dude. He's like, oh, it's supposed to be like fake weed. And then no, it's like real acid.
Yeah.
And it's just so intense for like 5 minutes straight. And you're thinking
I've had a seizure. I was on somebody's balcony. My buddy, no names. I was with a couple of buddies, and we were
Statute of limitations.
Yeah. It was the first time I had Drambuie. And
what the fuck is that?
I don't even remember. It's an alcohol, but I don't know where it's from, or like a brandy, or I don't know what it was. But I just
make that shit up.
No, you can Google it. You've got a computer in front of you.
I'm not gonna do that.
That's fine.
Go on with your story.
I see you Googling it now.
I'm not Googling it. I'm looking at the comments.
Why are we in Google then?
What do you mean?
You're Googling it right now.
Do you want me to Google it?
Yeah, because I don't know what it is too. So just if you don't mind.
Called?
DRAM.
B.
Drambuie, first one right up there.
Drambuie lecher.
Drambuie.
What we got?
Liqueur.
Oh my god, my McDonald's.
Oh, actually, it doesn't say liquor. It says liqueur. So it's a liqueur.
It's liquor.
Yeah, what's it supposed to taste like? Or I don't know. My buddy got it.
It's a scotch. It's a blend of scotch, whiskey, heather honey.
Okay.
All
right. Well, anyways,
that looks like some shit you get.
Anyways, I did salvia that night, and I wound up on somebody's goddamn porch, almost dying regularly because I was smoking it like out of a little pipe, and I'm like, all right, it's kind of like weed, but I'm clean. Yeah. And then like I did
this from the gas station.
But if you do it 15 times, you're probably gonna die at some point. And I very easily could have on that man's porch.
Dude, we did bong rips of salvia.
Oh
my god, what a fucking
I'll tell you what here's another one I miss is smoking weed, but not like now weed, like where every motherfucker it's like this like $1,000. I would have paid $1,000 when I was in high school for the weed.
The cure for all ailments lies within weed now. Like they've been working on this shit for over a decade.
Yeah. I remember buying it from a dude out of a fucking shoebox, and now it's like you can go into
not being that guy.
Yeah, and not for nothing, I could buy. I'm just yelling at you.
That's fine.
So Jewish.
Oh,
so
Jewish.
So
but
Jewish.
That's all right. You're welcome in this house.
There's you probably had a similar experience. We would smoke at a gravity bong. So I'm talking about like, and I don't know, I'm not a gynecologist, but a fist's worth of weed. And we're just throwing a fist's worth of weed into a fucking strainer that's
Did you name your bongs?
Garbage cans.
Were you a bong namer?
No, I was well, you remember not how high. Again, I can't remember the name. The Dave Chappelle weed. Half baked. Where like they had the MacGyver. I was the MacGyver. I made bongs out of shit, and I was so proud of it. It's like, okay, you're gonna get me an
avocado, a snorkel, and a nice pick. Go. What was that? Which Baldwin was that? That was one of the Baldwins that said that quote.
You're right. It was.
Holy shit.
He was working on his car or something.
I saw that movie so many fucking times. My buddy Johnny had a treehouse, right? It wasn't really a treehouse. It was pretty much like a double-decker like shed.
Sex shack.
Sure.
You can say it.
We were kids. It was meant for us, but whatever. Maybe. Who knows? But there was a TV hooked up in there. It was one of those 12-inch with the VCR combo or VHS combo in there. And we had Half Baked. What else did we have? If there are anybody from back in the day listening, try and help me out here. I think it was Half Baked, 8 Mile, because it was like 2002. Why not? We're all white. Why wouldn't you be watching 8 Mile?
Okay.
And then
right.
Oh, dude. Remember the Titans? Talk about a throwback.
You know his son acts.
Who?
The guy who Denzel's son is an actor.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. Thank you for that.
He's also black.
I also believe that.
Yeah.
It'd be not weird, but I'd be a little surprised if he wasn't. I won't,
I could see that.
It'd be weird if he was Asian. Like just plain flat Asian, like not black at all. It'd be,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Where did that fucking go?
You like horchata?
What the fuck is that?
It's rice and like cinnamon and star anise and.
Is that like? It sounds like Haroset.
It's a drink. No, it's not Haroset.
Haroset. You noticed I got a little one on the back end there. Haroset.
It's I like Haroset, and I could eat it all of the time. It's cinnamon and wine.
All Jews say they like Haroset, but let's be honest with you. The bar for flavor in the Jewish culinary arts isn't super high. Like you got brisket, which is stupid up here.
Yeah.
And then you got like Haroset. And then I think apples and honey, which is like a normal thing.
Yeah.
Challah is lit though.
Bears eat it all the time.
Have you ever had French toast challah or challah French toast?
Oh yeah. Cynthia makes so for she's not Jewish, and I know there's 4 people watching right now, and she's got to be one of them, or at least listening. Likely. Yeah.
One of them.
She makes challah every fucking week, like 2 loaves. At once, she might make 2 in a week, two loaves, so 4 loaves a week. And we have a bread bag. Like we just got one because I would kvetch about the fucking Ziplocs.
Kvetch means complain for those of you who don't know.
Yeah, there's not many things that you could put in a Ziploc bag overnight that the next day, if given a blind food test, I wouldn't be able to tell which one sat in a Ziploc. You were talking about like autism spectrums.
Mm-hmm.
I think like superhero flavor and sensitivity is mine.
Yeah.
Because I could taste plastic a mile away. It might have been on account of that.
That's your savant superpower.
I can annoy the shit out of people very quickly.
Oh,
and again,
I'm so good at that.
Are you?
I have like, I don't know. I my best friend growing up is black, right?
Is he still?
He's still black. Yeah, he's still.
But he used to
black.
be also.
Love you, Aunt. But I hung around a lot of black families and a lot of that stuff. So I do what I refer to as the black person in a movie theater. Only I do that in conversation with people.
Okay.
Like you'll be talking to me about something and I'll be like, what's going on? And it's like ADD. Like I'll see a squirrel and I'll just start telling you about a story that squirrel reminded me of.
Like this conversation?
Like it just happened now.
What were we talking about?
Who the fuck cares?
So I saw 2 squirrels having sex underneath an oak tree.
Having sex under an oak tree, talking about drugs.
I like Christopher Walken.
He's so fucking cool.
Yeah. It's really hot down here, and I'm actually really regretting.
You want me to turn this fan around, and then when I start sweating, we're a half hour in, but are you doing okay? Take the hat off.
No, I'm fine. I'm gonna live. Because I don't mind the heat. It's the humidity that kills me.
It's crazy that it's actually kind of humid in here.
It is really humid in here. Yeah, you got like moisture pockets coming up from underneath the concrete. You're gonna want to go ahead and call the Ghostbusters for it because there's nobody else gonna come out at this time. So
facts.
That's the thing I said.
How much you want to bet that one person watching is
Brittany?
Brit.
It's for sure Brittany. My wife wouldn't listen to this for longer than 30
It's
seconds.
not an air conditioner, honey. It's a space heater.
Space heater.
It's a baseboard heater.
Oh, there's things that the same person said. Facebook user is not an original name.
It's not. You guys have to hit the prompt.
What's a prompt?
It when you
are you certain? Have you ever watched your live stream? Are you certain that one even comes up?
Yes, it does.
You have an air conditioner in there. There's an AC as well. For that better not be my wife saying these things. How would you know, Cynthia? What is that? That looks like a garbage can. Are you sure?
That is a garbage can.
Oh, all right.
That's not what she's talking.
They say heroin puts holes in your brain.
That thing's so goddamn loud. That's literally so loud. It'd have to be right behind me, and it'd be no.
Hey, this is good. I like that she's on here. What is there anything you need him to pick up from the store after this? Can we get
just our child
maybe
from daycare?
Maybe potatoes. That's fine.
It's white. Thanks.
Yeah, my hair's.
So you're saying I'm right? Aren't you always? You give me like one every 6 months, woman.
You got to click the prompt. You got to click the prompt.
In that case,
you're the only person. This is all for you, baby. Click the prompt.
Click the goddamn prompt.
All right, this is at a halt. Your cheeks are really red.
Let's talk about one thing that I've been discussing with several people that I've been saving towards the latter end of the stream. When and why and who and where? No. When are we going to get you on stage and do an open mic?
I'm not going to do that.
You should do it.
I don't think I'm going to do that.
You should do it. I think you should do it once to say that you did it and acknowledge the fact that you're going to do horrible, but you should still do it because you are a funny person And all it really takes is just doing your funny right.
Mm.
If you can make 5 people laugh in a group by talking about whatever the fuck it is that you talk about, like a crazy person that you are.
Here's the thing. I don't mind even speaking with large groups of people. It doesn't bother me at all. I used to be, before I even started getting like anxiety or anything, I used to be very nervous about speaking in front of people. I took a public speaking class when I was like 22. And since then I have never had a problem. If there was 40 people in here, I would be all right. But the problem is, I don't think that I'm very self-aware, and that's not to say I don't think I would be okay on it. I mean, certainly not the first time, but 4, 5, 20, 30 times, whatever. I think my biggest thing is that, like, if I were to talk to people, there's no context for it. Like when you're in a social environment, you're not funny the first time you meet somebody. You got to understand who the fuck this guy is. So I think the challenge is like, how do you understand how I'm connecting what I'm saying in my experience to the emotion I want to portray, unless you've met me? So like,
so that's why
some random person who doesn't know me might think that I'm just and this was what I was telling you about when I originally was trying to do a podcast with a friend of mine, that I was going to do, like, it was the two of us all the time. Was that it really does not come off very well when you're listening to it afterwards.
Sure.
And that's not because it's not funny.
It's because people don't know you. I understand.
Right,
that.
Exactly. That's the thing.
So when you do like a stand-up routine, nobody fucking knows you. I mean, unless it's one of those open mics where it's all fucking comedians and the only people in the audience are just other comedians and maybe their girlfriends or something. Yeah, in that case, those people will know you, and those people will probably give you a little bit more honest laughter, meaning they won't just laugh because you're using a punchline.
Yeah.
You got to be able to formulate your story and make them figure out at least a glimpse of who you are in that way. I mean, because your first time up is usually 5 minutes if you're lucky, 10 minutes if you have like no people there.
Yeah.
So your job is to just give people an idea of who you are and how you feel in that short period of time. And I think you could do that phenomenally.
5 minutes doesn't seem like enough.
It's not. It is actually.
That's the biggest challenge.
It is easier.
You're just doing one-liners.
Yeah, it's easier for me to go on a 15 to 20 minute rant than it is for me to keep a tight 10. Like when I just did I told you I did a show about a month and a half ago at Roberts. It was a paid show, and I had to do 10 minutes, and you're a guest spot, so you want to be tight 10 because as a guest, you don't want to step over on anybody. Away from everybody.
Right, I can understand.
So you time yourself in something like if I'm driving into work, right, and I come up with a joke or I think of something funny, like I really try and refine it in my head, and then I write it down, and then on my ride home, I'll just turn the music down and I'll start pitching it to myself, and I'll put a timer on. And each joke, for me, each one of my jokes, with the exception of like hardcore long ass stories, they're like 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes long. So if you're doing 10 minutes, get 3 stories, maybe a little bit of crowd work filler, and if you do 11 or 12, no one's going to chop your dick off.
I heard you here. So you said it. I think the only thing that I could do in 5 minutes would be crowd work exclusive.
That's perfect.
I think all I would be able to do is just be like, I can absorb whatever this is.
The fucking dude Matt Rife is mostly crowd work.
Yeah,
I think because he's in like bigger venues now, like he's kind of focusing more on the stories.
Wait. I know Matt Rife.
He's the good looking dude who's just starting to blow up the past couple of months.
Oh yeah. So to be honest,
Wildin' Out.
Yeah, I know. I don't know that at all, but I do know
one weird.
I know Matt Rife. I remember because the first video of him I saw on TikTok, which by the way, you have got to get onto TikTok. You've held out way too long because nobody watches shit through Facebook at all. Look at this. There's -4 people,
and that's the one person watching is probably my wife. Whatever.
No, but anyways, so here's the thing.
I'm weird about it. I think it's all fucking spies.
TikTok?
I think it's all spies. Like I think
you think this is what people want to know more about?
I think Putin is touching himself to this right now.
Oh,
look how stupid the Americans are. Look at the fucking Jews.
Yeah, but he can't do anything. What is he gonna steal your Funko collection, dude?
He better fucking not.
Yeah, be easy, boy. You better get that brown bear loving Russian ass out of here.
You're not taking Marty.
What was a? Oh, right. Yeah, no. I don't think that there's a chance in hell that I'm going to stand up for 5 minutes without being able to Nah, a period. I wouldn't do stand up for a 5-minute period. I don't think it's long enough, and I think crowd work doesn't really. It's too easy.
I think if you walked up to one person in the crowd and said, "Do you like drugs?" you can go off from there.
Yeah, no.
It's one sentence that I think you feed off of. I've known you for a little over a year, and it's been mostly freelance comedy work in our conversations.
I always thought that it takes maybe more balls and less self-awareness, because there's a level at which, like, if you start getting too analytical about yourself, that you're just burying genuinely good things for your type of personality and like for your character on stage. Like, here's the thing I could do is like physical comedy. I could do
like Gallagher. You
like
start smashing
I'll
watermelons.
smashing watermelons, smashing Nova rings, just whatever. And
well, what I mean is like, what's a good way to put it? I don't know.
I don't have a want to is really
it's okay.
But here's what I would love to do is I would love to get in with like a group of 3 or 4 of like-minded people. This is why I really treasured when we kind of just started talking, is just people who think like me and just coming up with funny shit. And if that be something that's usable for somebody else, I'm down with it.
I mark my words, because I'm still getting deeper into the comedy shit. I've a lot of things in the making. I'm gonna try and make the stand-up more part of my life in addition to this.
Yeah.
Mark my words, I'm gonna get you the fuck up on stage.
Oh.
I'm gonna get you up, and I think you're gonna do better than you think. You're still gonna do terrible, but I think you're gonna like it, because it's one.
I'm an only child, and anybody paying attention to me.
This is the attention you might crave. Oh, you mean I got a microphone and you all have to listen? Oh, I feel like an only child again.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna be good at it. You say you're not gonna, but I'm also a really good salesman. I will convince you.
Okay,
I will convince you.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think you'd crush it.
Well,
how's that? Is that comfortable?
Nothing about this.
I know. Hey, listen,
comfortable.
It's actually very comfortable in the wintertime, because
I feel like 2 midgets are going to come out from behind that black curtain and just fuck me up. I'm sweating my balls off like you're about to drop me in a well.
That is not in the podcast budget.
I'm not certain that it can't be, though.
And I don't know where to hire them.
C4,
you don't buy them, right? You hire
bro.
midgets, right? You don't buy them. That's not nice.
I feel like they're people.
They are.
I've never met one. Never.
Oh, dude, Brittany is insanely afraid of little people.
Afraid?
Phobic.
Midget
like for a woman who's 6'1", for her to be married to a guy who is borderline little people. Like, I'm 5'6" on a good day, 5'7" with my boots on, and she's 6'1". Anybody under my chest that is an adult, she gets fucking weird. We were camping, and we were at the pool at this campground.
Sure.
And there was 2 of them.
Yeah.
You don't see one for like 6 years, and then all of a sudden, fucking 2 of them.
Oh, I've seen little people. But I mean, like, I've never been introduced to one. Like, oh, hi, I'm Mark, and this is Lil Terry. I assume he's a rapper.
I think no, I don't really know any person.
No, yeah, neither do I.
I'd love to meet one.
Yeah,
like meet and enjoy their company. Like, not just be like, oh my god, I'm such a fan of your work.
I loved Wizard of Oz.
Oh, and there goes the dwarf.
Your people's work in Willy Wonka. Mwah!
How did you fit in R2-D2?
Yeah, because it was a midget.
I mean, right?
I don't know. So
yeah, you missed the last time coming into the studio because of something going on. Everybody okay at home?
Yeah, everybody's good.
No medical emergencies or anything like
that? No. She went to the doctor, and it didn't have claws, so we'll give birth to it this time.
Oh, good. Yeah. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Shotguns are in the back. All right.
How many? How do you know?
How do I know what?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Cynthia followed the prompt.
Whoa. Cynthia who?
I don't know. But no, legitimately, Brittany has an absolute little people phobia. 110%.
That sucks.
And she wishes she didn't, but like it's like a state she goes into when she sees him.
So I used to be afraid of kids,
not kids,
a lot.
And the way she describes it is like if they're very proportionate, she's fine. Like if they're just like if you took our body form and just shrunk it down and it was like a normal shape. It's when certain things are bigger and smaller. I don't know. It freaks her out.
Yeah.
And it's actually uncomfortable to watch her be uncomfortable because I'm like, and then I find myself like, if I spot one before she does, and I'm like, babe, just look me in the eyes. Everything's going to be okay. Don't look away. Don't look away. And she's like, I know, I already saw it. It's coming closer. I don't know.
That's all right.
It's one of those things.
It's better than her being afraid of like Spanish people. That would be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you can avoid little people pretty easily.
More like they could probably avoid you.
Sure.
I know. I don't see him often. Not often enough. Out of fairness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd love to personally know more.
So what's going on with some shows?
I don't know. I don't have anything planned yet. I was gonna try and go see the guests that I had on.
I saw you.
Susie, Susie Reed and Mike Merck are going up at Robert's Bar and Grill on Friday. Show starts at 8 o'clock. If everybody wants to, I'll
Did you put it on Facebook?
I think I did. On
you
Instagram.
know
I'm
that
so fucking bad. At
so if you have guests on and they want to share their like thing on your page, you as an admin have to okay it before it can go on. They'll share a link or something or a post or something.
I'm pretty sure everybody that's a part of the
podcast
group on Facebook has complete access.
You had a thing on there that was like pending status.
I think I took it off, but I'll double check.
I okayed it because it was the guy who I think it was Chris. No, somebody was doing an art gallery or something.
It might have been Chris.
Yeah,
it might have been Chris.
I think that's what it was. In any event.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm more or less just trying to get more close to the network and the circuit of people that are doing it.
Yeah.
Because I've done one guest spot, and a lot of these people like they're full-time comedians.
Well, you've been friends with a lot of these people for a while.
I've known Susie for probably the better part of a decade through her brother. Mike, I just met. Chris, I've known for a hot minute. And there's other comedians out in the ether that I've been talking to and in communications. If anybody's got some shit, I could probably do however long you need me to, whatever. But I want to get some stuff set up so it's my group of people controlling. I want to get a venue together. I got a lot of shit we're working on. A lot of skillets and several different fires.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Very cool.
Yeah, and then this. I got some cool guests coming on soon.
Who's coming on?
So I got my buddy Kyle Cope.
Who
I've known since grade school.
Yeah.
Clothing designer, promoter, all around just a hustler. He's got a pretty cool story. My buddy Donnie Palmer. This thing has seen some shit over the past couple of weeks on vacation. He wrote a book, When Trees Become Walls. He will be on the 12th or 14th. One of those is a Wednesday. He'll be on to talk about the book. He went cross country in what looks to be the biggest piece of shit car that anybody could probably drive.
I'm sure he's got good stories.
He's got great stories. I mean, so much so that he wrote a book on some of it.
Yeah.
And I just want to catch up with him, man. Like I probably haven't seen Donnie in like 15 years.
Wow.
Like, legitimately 15 years. But we've been in every like 6 months to a year or so, we would reach out and like, hey douchebag, how you doing? Kind of stuff. And like,
I feel like that's a guy thing.
It is.
Like I could pick up from somebody I haven't seen in 30 years and be like, hey, what are you doing Friday? You have to come out with me right now. I mean, up until
what people don't realize about me, man, is like if you left that much of an impact on me, then that impact still carries all throughout time. Like this dude, Donnie, like I've known him since camp, like literally 3 months out of the year when we were kids, and like just a friendship and bond. And we had other people in the groups, and we were counselors in training and all that shit together. And then I just don't see him for a hot minute. And then I find out he reads a book, and I'm like, I gotta fucking read a book now. And I do have, and this should be absolute proof how fucking stupid I am. I accidentally ordered 2 copies on Amazon. So what I was thinking was on his show, I'll see if half the fucking viewers can opt into the let me view your name on the thing, or I'll just try and find a different streaming platform that is more child friendly. And then I was gonna give away the fresh copy because this one's dicked because this one survived a tug of war match with my 2-year-old.
Okay.
And a vacation in a campground, several rainstorms, golf cart trips, and took me 4 days to read this bit.
And that's Donnie Palmer.
Donnie Palmer. When Trees Become Walls. He's also an avid rugby player. I'll be putting the promo video up shortly. And then at the end of the month, we're going to do a grand finale with my boy Joe Snuffy Bear Perry. He's a previous coworker and previous manager of mine at Mall Chevrolet. I refer to him as like Mr. South Philly.
Yeah.
Like if people tell me if you tell me you're from South Philly and you don't know who he is, I don't believe you. And he's just one of those. He's very hype. He does all of Mall Chevy's commercials. He just did a thing for the New Jersey Lottery. Like he's got a lot of
irons in the fire.
And
what's his name?
Joe Perry.
Joe Perry
with an I.
Not like the other guy.
Not like the other guy. Correct. Yeah.
I was Michael Bolton first.
Fuck Michael Bolton.
Fuck Michael Bolton.
Fuck Jeff Goldblum.
Oh.
No, I like Jeff.
I've had 4 people at work tell me that I look like Jeff Goldblum.
I don't see that.
I don't either.
I don't see that.
He is
way better looking than you.
Yeah,
way better looking.
Even but like, and that's not the thing that people think about.
He's age and still looks better.
Nobody's like, you know who I'd really like to get with? Jeff Goldblum.
I mean, did you see
I
him
really
in The Fly?
want what?
Did you see him in The Fly?
I did.
He was a fucking good looking dude in The Fly. And in Jurassic Park, he made sure to get the fucking taco meat hanging out when the fucking T-Rex took the bathroom down.
I'm not in love with that term of taco meat. It
That's
doesn't
what we called it.
When I think about tacos,
when you got your chest hair popping out through your shirt, they call it the taco meat. Why don't you like that reference?
It sounds gross.
Good.
For sure, it shouldn't visually compare to taco meat at all. That's a bad and definitely not here.
I didn't come up with the fucking term. I just utilize it.
I don't think you should.
I don't really care. I'm going to keep doing it because it sounds funny and it makes people uncomfortable, apparently.
All right. All right. Okay. That's fair.
Your wife says Jeff Goldblum is a good-looking man. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's a shame your husband looks nothing like him.
Yeah.
So
she wasn't one of them. I would have thought that would agree with that. I don't think, and I like Jeff Goldblum as an actor. He's a bit alternative for my liking. Like I can't make heads or tails sometimes what he's wearing, what's happening with that. Like when you look at him and it's like, that's a whole thing going on here, huh? What are you supposed to be for Halloween? But like, I wouldn't say he's handsome. I understand that you like that.
I'd say he's handsome.
He's the most Jewish looking person besides John Levy.
Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum looks super Jewish.
No.
You don't think Jeff Goldblum looks Jewish?
Not even we're close to John Levy. That is a very Jewy looking dude.
I'm just saying
that guy looks like half of my fucking family reunion. Jeff Goldblum looks like he would liven the bar mitzvah up. I was invited by a cousin. And he just runs up in there and does the fucking
belong here. I was coming in so I could buy a flag.
I'm planning on buying the place.
You ever see the guy who does that? Matt, what the hell's his name? He's good. He's on TikTok a lot too. I think so this kid's claim to fame is just exclusively making videos impersonating Jeff Goldblum.
Nice.
Of all people.
Yeah.
There's a guy out there, Morty Says. I don't know if you've ever
No, I've never heard
it's a big shame you're not on TikTok because there's so much good shit that way.
You've been talking about this since I pretty much fucking met you. I don't know if I trust TikTok.
I don't know
if I don't trust anything.
Yeah, but like here's the thing. You're not the guy, bud. Nobody's going for whatever you've got here.
Yeah, but I got just enough that if somebody wanted to fucking terrorize my life, shit would suck a lot. And then I feel like it's all spies. Like this right now, this is a huge out of my comfort zone type thing because I feel like I specifically bought little shield caps for the camera lenses so that I can close it. Like I can actually shut the camera by moving a little thing because I think it's fucking spying on me when I walk by.
Just so you're aware, that microphone is built such that if you are not in front of it,
That's fine.
I mean,
fine.
it is for us in a room together,
It
but
is.
the sole purpose of us being in the room, it's kind of a not okay.
I think our 2 viewers will forgive me, which is probably yours and my wife.
I'd have to say that you probably get more after the fact in the
What views?
yeah.
Yeah, more than likely. And I did notice for some weird reason the show. Look at this. Why is it that when we go home, none of the look at that. That's what's happening.
I guess it only comes up as
What's going down?
yeah.
But it says when this isn't here, like I think I can upload shit. So
You have to go to videos, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
and then most of the stuff's on live on YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
All right.
that's fun.
So you said you want to get involved in more stuff like this. What do you mean? Like, what do you
Yes,
want to
sir.
do? You were saying like I
I
want to
just
get.
want to support my family, build a house, and die miserable like everybody else. I don't understand what you're asking. You all got dreams and such. My people do not have dreams.
We are of the same people, brother, and I'm out here trying to do something different.
Yeah, I know. It's good.
You want to just come along with me while I do something different?
I'm fine just being like, I see you.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're a dad and
Looks fun.
your kids play soccer and you're just like, it's not for me, but I sure am happy to be here for you.
Look like you're having a blast.
Yeah. No, I don't really have like charisma for anything better for me in my life.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Mhm.
I will.
I could do.
I will continue to bring you on the show, and we will talk about weird shit.
Yeah, I just want to enjoy it. You know,
Yeah.
if I can build a legacy along the way, I guess that's all right.
What the fuck is in that energy drink that you just slurred like that? Meth.
They call it skank on the streets.
They call it heroin.
Heroin.
Mm,
It's got beta power,
that sounds like
just
drugs.
like our buddy Greg.
That sounds.
No. It's okay. He's a good guy.
He is a good dude.
No, I'm just
He's
playing
definitely
it.
not watching this.
I'm just
He's
playing.
definitely not.
He could be
watching
one of
it.
the
He's
two.
flat out told me he's like, yeah, I have not watched it.
Yeah, there's a lot of words. I know, man. I gotta go through and
Like this is 56 minutes. This is barely holding our attention. He's not gonna watch.
You don't pay attention?
I try not to.
You're in the podcast.
I
This
know.
is a really bad. Like you
I
may need to
still
change
have-
gears a little bit, dude.
We did just kind of verify that I might be autistic. So
No, you are. You just found out that you may be. The rest of us talk shit about you all the
by
time.
we, I mean me and the rest of the voices in my head. So
Okay.
Fuck you.
There may be other things going on here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm.
What's that? All right.
Chocolate chip cookies? Not now. God damn it,
Huh?
Clarice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right.
you said there's no cereal in this box of Wheaties you have.
No,
up
it's
here.
just the box.
Okay.
It's just the box.
That's fair.
I don't know why it's there. I don't even know where it came from, but it has now become part of the display when you come into the studio.
Drugs.
Drug. Oh, I fucking love drugs.
I love drugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Wheaties in that you could tell if I didn't start my day off with it. You know how they in the
Mhm.
commercials they would
Yeah.
insinuate
Someone ate their Wheaties.
somebody
this
ate
morning.
their Wheaties and then it's like
Someone
somebody
did
forgot.
all the meth this
Yeah.
morning.
I know of a guy who forgot his heroin all day today.
How about I was describing to Steve.
Who?
Steve.
Who?
I was describing to someone.
Who?
PCP. Steve.
Which one?
It doesn't matter. We're not getting too specific. Remember?
Well, I mean, you don't have to get that specific,
All
but
right,
are we
Steve.
talking of a bigger Steve?
No, the littler Steve.
Oh, littler
All right.
Steve.
I
Yeah,
was talking
yeah.
to my buddy Steve, and he was just like, he had asked me, like, have you ever done PCP? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty good too.
And he was asking, like,
Why you got any?
he was saying he said it in reference to something he saw online. Like he saw a dude, like skinny dude or whatever, just like PCP his way through a crime scene pretty much. And, I was trying to explain.
I like
to
that
him
as a verb.
PCPing himself around. He PCP'd himself.
You ain't cool unless you PCP yourself.
Unless you PCP your pants. Unless you are lifting a Volkswagen with your pinky.
So he was.
So he was asking me to describe pretty much how PCP feels.
Yeah,
And I think, and I want to ask you because I'm sure you've done it before too.
I have.
Yes,
I
So,
have. That was a safe
I described
assumption.
it. I described PCP as being like when you're playing GoldenEye on N64,
Right.
and you look down and there are no feet and body. That is visually what it feels like. And then I explained to him, like, if you were to do this, right, and then you're looking down and you don't see your feet and your body, everything around what you can see doesn't matter, and your body's just moving like the Hulk, like the Juggernaut. You just can't be stopped. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I explained it to him like, I was running from the cops one time from a party, and we'd done a bunch of wet, and I was running through the woods, like, and literally my face is stationary, and I don't notice the rest of my body, and I'm just Terminator T-1000ing through the woods, just, and sticks are hitting me in the face and scratching my legs, and then the next day you're just war torn, and you didn't feel a fucking thing. That's what it's like. Is that an accurate description for you?
Yeah, it was
pretty spot on.
Like if you were to imagine an invisible camera being centered in the middle of a sphere of mirrors, and then you were just whatever you can see, and as you walk towards it, it's kind of like more views disappearing and then coming back,
like
and then
your whole existence is a wide angle lens.
I've had nothing but good experiences on PCP, but lucky enough, it wasn't something that I found myself like completely addicted to.
No, it was also really tough to get.
Yeah, there was a girl that I was dating, and she could get full cigarette packs completely dipped in PCP. It was the best. But I don't like that taste. To me, was if you got to get past
you
it.
You got to put up with a lot to get to the high that you desire.
And like getting to the point, there's no amount. Like I know that angel dust is kind of like a measured amount. You can be like, oh, I'm gonna have
dipped it in a cigarette.
I'm gonna have this much
cigarette in
and fucking wet is like it fell in a puddle, so fucking guess, dude. Like how much do you think? 5? This
don't touch it.
Yeah, don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
If it gets in your eye, you will die, but you should smoke this.
You should smoke this.
Yeah, it goes to your brain faster.
I feel like Boris from Goldeneye.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I told you my favorite story. I got to watch over a backyard, the fence kind of come down.
Yeah.
And then the moon just became. It just became.
It was just there.
Where once it wasn't, there it stood, and it just kind of bobbled up and down it was in a martini, like an olive in a martini glass. And I was fascinated by this. And the lawn was coming at me like waves and washing back. And it was just very pleasurable. Yeah. I have nothing bad to say about peace. I know a lot of people, it's weird. It's like when I think of PCP and people's lives it has ruined, I don't know any firsthand, but I've seen the after school specials. It can't be good.
Sure.
Yeah. I'll never forget when Jonathan Taylor Thomas was afraid he was going to die because he found out he had asthma. And then I was shooting heroin in gas station bathrooms, and I'm like, you're a bitch, JTT. Get your shit together, buddy.
Get your shit together, bro.
Yeah, this is fucking real, man. What are you doing? Fake. Probably don't even have asthma. Faggot. No, I'm just kidding.
There it goes. And the show's canceled.
I'm sorry.
He's not.
No, maybe.
He's not.
What? Where have you seen him?
Where?
Exactly.
I don't know. Did you just sign where?
Yeah.
So,
where?
So all the deaf people that are watching know that you're a piece of shit?
Well, just for like one example, my wife happens to be able to do it because she got an over 100 on her ASL final. Sign.
Sign. Spell it out.
Good.
It's weird. I started learning sign language just because I saw some people doing it. I thought it looked fascinating. I also wanted to be able to communicate without speaking. I thought that was very tactical.
It is extremely beneficial when we're in the grocery store
across the showroom. You and I, we've had conversations,
and with other, like the other day when we were in the office, and there's 2 other people between us, but it's super rude to just talk over.
Loud.
Apparently, equally as rude to completely ignore what they're saying
we were being very.
I feel like we were
full of what they were saying, and we were having our own discussion. It wasn't interrupting theirs, and they got distracted by the fact that we were communicating with each other regardless.
Yeah,
and they were mad.
What I think actually happened was they were talking to us, but we were like,
no, they were having their own conversation, and you and I were communicating about a customer, and then they just happened to realize that something was. They thought we were Narutoing with each other, like opening chakras, and like, the fuck you guys doing?
What's up, buddy? Who's what's up, buddy?
Let's find out who's what's up, buddy. Oh, it's Ivan.
Hey, book.
That's my buddy Ivan.
Hey, buddy Ivan.
What's up, man? You got to follow the prompt. So up at the top, if you guys see, it says I'm going to going live on StreamYard, and then if you click the little link that says StreamYard Facebook, it should take you to a prompt that allows me to see who's on, whose name it is.
Yeah, you want to be able to engage in the stream. Probably the.
If you want to be viewed, like if you want me to reference you, then that's how it's got to be.
This is the sweatiest episode of this show.
It could get sweatier, man.
Can I ask? Is that a window?
It is.
And the fuck's it doing closed would be like off the cuff. My first question,
because the AC unit to the house is right outside that wall, and it literally the moment I open it up, it's gonna sound like a fucking plane taking off next to us. Would it make you feel any better that we're at about an hour and 5 minutes, and we're pretty much that's an episode.
Right, yeah,
bro.
that's an episode. We can wrap this
I
up.
appreciate the fucking shit out of you coming over here, man. And
I think you should.
I do.
Yeah.
I just said I did.
No, but I mean
live
more often. I should be hearing those words more often.
What?
From
That
you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you prefer that I text it to you every night?
I got shit to do. I can't be bothered like that.
Right.
But when it's
I
convenient for
appreciate
me,
that you're not out of line by asking for multiples.
all right.
I
Open
will
the
say-
garage. For God's sakes, open the garage.
All right, folks.
Why did we not fucking open the? Oh yeah, like every other sound in the world.
Yeah, it's you can hear birds and shit and Steve mowing his lawn.
Next time we're gonna do a remote stream somewhere else outside.
We could do that.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
Yeah, the H8 can pretty much go wherever.
Yeah, we can take that wherever, and you can use your phone for streaming, and you know,
we'll work it out. Those cameras are also Wi-Fi capable. I mean, stream capable as well.
Yeah, these are garbage cameras,
but they work. They work.
I'm pretty sure I remember having
listen,
a 20-minute thing
I
about
wanted to make
swapping them
sure.
out because the fucking cable came
All
out,
right,
and
you know what?
You're
know
getting
what?
pissed again, and I saw it
My
immediately.
credit card allows me rewards points from Amazon, and I wasn't going to spend a ton of money in case it sucked.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it doesn't
all right.
suck as bad as I thought, so I'll invest money later. Fuck you, sir.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate you.
Next week we're gonna be using a colonoscopy camera because he found it in the fucking Denny's garbage can. Thank you. Bye.
Deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gonna see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice. These my motives about my chicken and its rotis.